Hello, my name is Debbie, and this is my first video, so I'm a little bit nervous. And I wanted to give a testimony about my experiences that I've had spiritually. And it happened when a ball of light came on my television. Actually, I was into the New Age religion. And I hope the picture's okay. I'm working on a very small laptop that I had to buy recently because my other one just broke. And I know it's kind of dark in here. I'm working with an LED light because I heard they were pretty good on if you're working in the dark. It's nighttime right now. So I hope you can hear me. And I'm going to play this back. I'm not going live right now because this is a practice video. And this all started right around the time that had just gotten into the New Age religion, and I had gotten some back pay after I had filed for disability. And it was a bunch of back pay. And so I didn't receive the back pay yet, but it was right after that, I think, that right after I got the back pay, that all these things started happening to me, these weird things. And I was meditating with crystals, and I was on Facebook, and all of a sudden, it was right after the ball of light came on my TV, and I'm going to put a link to that video because I did capture the ball of light that came on my TV. And I recorded it on my smartphone. And some people have already seen it that have subscribed to my channel. And I told some people on Facebook that I was going to do a testimony about these things that happened to me. And they were things that were supernatural. And I thought it was coming from angels of our Heavenly Father and the good angels. And I thought that the aliens, like the Arcturians and Palladians that you hear about on Facebook in the New Age religion, are really here to help us ascend to a higher level and things like that. And because they do say that, they believe in Jesus and things like that. And I was raised in a Baptist church, and I was never really led a Christian life, but I believed in Jesus. And they said that they believed in Jesus and everything like that. And my dad always used to talk about, he was an atheist and he didn't believe in God or anything like that. But I was real close to him, and we used to have these space talks when I was a little girl. And my favorite show was Star Trek. And I loved, what was his name? Captain Kirk. He was like my, I don't know what you would call it, my idol or something. But I was just I would watch that every single night when I was about 8 or 9 years old. And this is something I'm going to tell you about later. I had this like near-death experience at that same age. And I'm going to talk about that later. And this is why I know that, anyway, what I'm going to talk about first is I'm going to have to do this story in segments. But first, I want to talk about what happened in Albuquerque, which is near an Air Force base. First of all, after I started meditating, my electronics, I would be searching for, first of all, my lights would start going on and off. And they would blink on and off, and in colors too. Not just blinking on and off, but they would blink on and off in colors. And this would be after the ball of light came on my TV. which I'll put a link down in below this video, to that ball of light that hit on my TV. And it stayed on my TV until I turned the TV off. It stayed there. And I thought, what the heck is going on? And my lights would go on and off. And my YouTube videos would get interrupted. Like what I would be searching for things on YouTube, things that because I was into that New Age religion, and I would be searching for something, and this thing would pop up on my search screen. It would type, "What, D?" in typing on my, the search screen, "What, D?" in typing. And when I was searching for music, because, I had a Roku player, the music would start changing. It was really weird. It would just start changing itself automatically. I can't remember exactly what it was doing, but it was like now, because it was so long ago, that the pictures would change and stuff like that. They would change the pictures on the music and just insert their own music on there. And then one time I said I needed a mop to mop under my bed. And so I would go in the laundry room where I lived in this apartment complex. I lived in a studio in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and there was a laundry room there. And I would go in there, and there was a mop there. And then the same thing happened again the next day. I'd say I need a pair of jeans. And I would go in there, and there was a pair of jeans there in exactly the same size that I would wear. They fit me perfectly. And it was just little things like that would just show up. And then they would put, and this really happens to people, and the government has this technology. They were somebody was talking to me telepathically. They were saying that they wanted me to go to sleep and stuff like that because God works the night shift. And then they were saying they wanted to connect the left side of my brain to the right side of my brain and things like that. They were talking to me telepathically, and I said, what the heck is going on? And I thought it was, these aliens were trying to help me ascend to a higher level. And I thought they were trying to help me ascend. And I thought that's what it was. And I did feel something. And they said, well, we have to have your permission to do this. And, I thought they were trying to help me because I thought that, because they said God works the night shift. They were talking to me telepathically. And I knew I didn't have schizophrenia. I knew I didn't have it. I knew I had bipolar because I had recently because I was on medication for bipolar, but I knew I didn't have schizophrenia. And so I started doing research on this, and then I found out that the government had this technology that they use microwaves that they actually have this technology where they could use microwaves to beam voices into people's heads. And then I found out about targeted individuals. And I'll put a link down there for you people to see that, where they actually target people, innocent civilians, and they experiment on these people to use this technology that they have. And they've already been using it for a long time, where they can actually, and people have been diagnosed with schizophrenia. And they actually have this technology where they can beam voices. And then they beamed this voice that sounded like it was my dad. And I said, Dad? It sounded like his voice. And then I would see things in the dark. And I still see things in the dark. I saw a boy, in the night when I woke up, and a devil's face. And then I felt things jumping on my bed in that apartment. And and I still see things in the dark to this day. And ever since that happened, and I don't know if it's because they have opened up portals from CERN, and I'll try and put a link down there to that too, because I've been doing tons of research ever since this happened. And I understand that I don't know if it's L. Ron Hubbard. I think that's his name. I'm not sure, but I think that's his name. I'm not positive, but they opened up a portal and they've let in this dark matter or dark energy, and I think CERN has too. And it's letting in these dark entities or something. And ever since then, well, actually, ever since I started getting into that New Age religion is when all this stuff started happening to me. And that's when they were like prompting me to do these different things. And I went into, I started going on these trips without even thinking. And I went off my medication. And this is another story that I can go into that is going to take a long time, that I lost a lot of money because I was just doing stuff without thinking. And I eventually lost my apartment until I finally realized what was going on. And but anyway, they even did something to my spine. I think they tried to adjust my chakras or something. At least that's what I thought it was. And I felt this tingling like go up and down my spine. And anyway, what eventually happened was I thought I was in some kind of danger because this is before I realized what was going on. They were turning my lights on and off and acted like I was in some kind of immediate danger. And so I took off and I left my cat. I had a beautiful Persian cat. And I thought I was just going to be gone for a few days. So I left her some food and stuff. And I took off and I didn't even know where I was going. But I thought it was just, I was in some kind of a danger and then I had to leave because they were using like this telepathic communication and still on me. And I trusted them. I thought they were trying to help me. They were these advanced aliens trying to help me. And I'm real trusting. And so I took off and I went to Arizona. And I didn't know where I was going. And I didn't have very much money at this time because I'd already given it away. I thought they were trying to help me get into real estate and stuff like that. So I gave $3,000. And most of my back pay was gone at this time. Because I went to Costa Mesa and got a facelift. And I bought a car. So it was mostly gone by this time. And I went to Arizona. I only had a few, not that much left. It was right before I got paid again. And I ran out of gas. And I was looking for help. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but I knocked on this door. And it was open. And I was freezing cold outside. So I opened the door a little bit. And I stepped inside just a little bit and asked if anybody was home. And down the stairs walks a cop. And anyway, I'm not going to go into all the details, but I got arrested for trespassing. And in Arizona, it's a felony. And of all the days, it was Easter Sunday. And so I was in jail for about, I think, a month and 2 months or something like that, at least. A little over 2 months, maybe. And so I lost my car because they towed it. And I didn't have the money to get it out of the towing place. I didn't have enough money by that time because they charged an arm and a leg to get it out of towing. And then they made up some kind of a ticket, another ticket that if you couldn't get your car out of towing, there was some kind of a ticket that you lose your license if you can't afford to get your money out of towing. And I don't remember, but anyway, I had to get a public defender, and she got it reduced to a misdemeanor. But it's still on my record now that I have, and it shows up as a felony, even though it got reduced as a misdemeanor. And so that's what a targeted individual's life is like. So eventually I found out, that I really wasn't being a targeted individual. And I was being lied to about, all that stuff. And, I trusted them because I thought, this New Age religion was really and I didn't realize that, how I was being fooled and everything. And I trusted them. I couldn't believe it. And so finally, when I was in prison, I started praying to Jesus. And as soon as I got out, I stayed with a friend that I had been staying with before I got my back paid and everything. He was a vet. And I stayed with him when I was homeless before I got my disability. And he let me stay with him for a while before I got another apartment. I lost my car. I lost my apartment and everything in it, which I had brand new furniture. I lost my Persian cat. And I had to start all over again. And so let me get a drink. I was just a mess. And I had about 2 months of my disability, which is a pretty good amount because I was a legal secretary before I got disability. And I was a legal secretary most of my life. And anyway, he let me stay with him till I could get another apartment. But him and his friends, when they moved my stuff out, I don't know who got my furniture, but I told them they didn't have to move the heavy stuff, just to get most of my small stuff. And they stole most of it, him and his friends. I think he didn't keep any of it, but I think his friends stole most of it. So they didn't have, I don't know if his friends took the furniture or what, but I don't know what they did with it. But I had a lot of expensive makeup and a lot of nice clothes. And I think one of his friends that was an alcoholic, a robot alcoholic, gave a lot of that stuff to his girlfriends. I'm not sure. And they found a home for my cat because they had to, find a home for her. And I really, love that cat. And so I found another apartment, and actually it was a HUD apartment. I got a HUD voucher. And then I had to find a HUD apartment, really fast in a certain amount of time. And so I did that, and that's another story that I'm going to have to go into later. And so what I'm going to do right now is end the stream and come back and see what kind of editing I'm going to have to do and check it out and see how this has gone so far. So I'll leave you for now, and then I'll come back. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.